And we're live. At least I think we're live. Oh, my hair. Is that what it looks like back there? How's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday. I think we're live. I need to refresh this. We are... Connect your encoder. Are we not live? Yes, we're live. You can see me, right? How's it going, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Happy first stream of December. I hope everybody in the US had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Ours went pretty well. The last couple of years I mentioned last week, but like I did not give the turkey enough time to defrost. And this time I did, but I slept horribly the night before. And so everything ended up taking a lot longer than expected still. And you know, it just, but all the food turned out great. I did not get a chance to try the pudding that I discussed or that we mentioned a few times. There just was not enough time and it didn't work out. So maybe next year that'll be on the list of things to try out. But anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Everyone that celebrated and everyone else had a great week. Let's see, who's here today? We got Lisa is here, Tuxedo's here, Orion's in the house. Steve, how's it going? I was born on a Friday, hello, hello. John Beck, Ranch Kid, K-Gold, Graybeard, Shrimp Father. I hope you guys are all doing wonderful. Hey, Luis, or Luis, I always forget every week. I want to say Luis, but I feel like it's Luis. That is Damien, Lord Git. I think I said hi, but maybe not. How's it going? Yorkshire, that's what it is. Make it anytime. Okay, doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. So yeah, I hope you all are doing great. I haven't done much since last week, which is was intentional. We left off on a good spot where I didn't feel like there was much that needed to get done to kind of get ready for today's stream. The only Louis, yeah. So it's Luis. I feel like you've definitely told me that before. Names in my brain, like it just, it's always been that way my whole life. I'm doing my best though. I'm doing my best. Hey Tulsa. So yeah, the last week we basically got, let's see if I change camera angles real quick here. We got all of the motor mount, the Z motor mounts built, and it went relatively smoothly. We are not installing the like rubber feet until we install it on the frame. I did double check that. That's gonna be after the AB motors. It looks like it basically has you build all of the different sub-assemblies, and then once you have those all done, then you bolt them onto the frame. So we got 4 of these done last week, and then I think it was at the beginning of last week's stream where we discovered that the printed attachment pieces, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. That might do. I'm gonna actually change the autofocus to, there we go. So for these DIN rails, they were a little bit short, like a handful of millimeters. And so I had concerns with these little printed pieces here that the DIN rail, if somehow it shifted towards one side, the other end could actually fall out. So all I did was I took the model because it's mirrored basically in both directions, so you can scale it relatively easily. And I added 50% height to each of them, and I installed one right now, and it seems like that's a good spot. So we're gonna pop off the small ones. I don't know if it is that this will be the case for everybody that gets this kit, or if for some reason my DIN rails are just a tiny bit shorter than they're intended to be, but I just don't want to risk having the electronics shift. So we'll get this installed, and then I think the game plan for today is to focus on the AB motor mounts. That's kind of a big part of it. Hey, Wojak. Hey, RS. Actually, I think RS, you said I could call you Rob now, right? Names, man. It's always names with me. Very difficult. I mentioned this on stream a bunch of times, but even when I used to work at the bar, like I could remember all sorts of things about anyone that came in, you know, about their favorite team in sports and all this stuff, but names, like it just, my brain doesn't stick very well. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and get these kind of loosely bolted in. I grabbed my own hardware because I'm using slightly longer hardware since we added, I don't know, 5 millimeters. These are M3x12 socket heads, which don't exactly match with the hardware that this uses, but because it's on the bottom and won't be visible, I I'm not too concerned about the aesthetics of it. There's been a few other builds where I've had to use different hardware, and I know some people like it really grinds their gears, so I apologize. Measure them, you will know. I could measure them. Steve! Hey, Steve. Thank you so much, man, for the 5 gifted memberships. I hope your Thanksgiving was productive. I mean, I know your Thanksgiving was productive. Yeah, these are 12mm screws. So M312 socket heads is what I ended up doing. I still have not mounted the heater on the wall in here, which is why I've got a sweater on today. I'll tell you what the temperature is. We're expecting a 55% chance of snow tomorrow. We still have not gotten any snow this season, which is pretty delayed. It says it's 57 in here. I'm calling bull. I think it's colder than that, man. My skin feels colder. Shed wiring. Oh, nice. It's that quick? Or did you already have it scheduled prior? Did you already have it scheduled prior to doing the like panel work? Not panel work, that's not the right word. The oh my god, words. Prior to putting the ply up, did you already have it scheduled? I know you said you had like a certain amount of time, but I didn't realize. That seems really fast to me, considering that was just Thursday and Thursday was a holiday. That's awesome though, congratulations. One less thing to worry about. Hey, Charlie. So yeah, let's get these guys attached. I'm gonna leave them a little bit loose for right now, just so that way I can slide them around. We're not actually installing electronics yet, so come on, Bubby. So yeah, I'm gonna leave them a little bit loose. So yeah, you can see right now, like with the DIN rail completely up, like against this side, this is our gap. Let me turn this, actually, it's probably the easiest way to show. You guys see that gap? So that's our gap. And so with the thickness of the initial printed parts, I was concerned that if it was favoring one side completely, that we would have risk of the DIN rail falling out. So that's why I made it 50% wider. So now, I mean, they hold pretty tight in the printed parts, but if for some reason it were to slide, I don't have to worry about the DIN rail dropping and then the electronics, any issues with electronics. That is why we ended up doing this. I still have not gotten a chance to tell either Jason or Heart K, but I need to do that just because if it is a thing, I want them to probably update the parts. So that way people don't have to, do what I did, which isn't a big deal because of the order of installation of this, but still. You said, I called Monday, scheduled for today. It was just final rough and was already done. Inspection took maybe 2 minutes. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I met our local, I mean, I assume there's more, like multiple inspectors, but I don't know if like the size of our city, how many they have. But we had ours come out for the fan stuff I did, which he basically was like, yeah, I didn't have to inspect this, but the dude was really cool. I was just asking him a bunch of questions about electrical in general, and he was happy to answer my questions and show me the little like cheat thing that he had. So, okay, so yeah, these should be able to slide. So yeah, these are, I mean, it's still a pretty tight fit, but we can slide these around. So I'm gonna leave these as is for now. I don't think I have to worry about any of them falling out. Should be fine. And then we will flip. Oh, I did a whoopsie this morning, so let me make sure I don't do it again. There we go, turn it this way. The nuts on the bed extrusions, because they are not, let me zoom out. Because there's not any covers on the end right now, this morning when I was flipping this over to put that first DIN rail on, all the nuts, like, I think it was the two up top, and one on the inside flew off onto the floor. So I gotta be mindful of that until, I probably should have just put like a piece of tape at the end of it or something like that. Because this is not the first time it's happened. You think I would have learned, but we'll put this off to the side. I don't actually think we'll need the frame for what we're doing today. Okay, let's pull up the instructions here. Where are we? Here we are. Okay, it might be just your kit. I didn't have any issue with the DIN rails in the foreign bot kit. Got it. Well, I mean, the Formbot kit will have rails from a different source that they're cutting differently. So I don't know. I haven't seen anyone else building an LDO kit yet. So maybe it's an LDO kit thing. Hey, Nice. Hey, Raj. Okay, so I didn't do this actually. We can do this if we want. There are two options for the Z-joint. Rigid, this manual only covers the rigid version. Yeah, I guess we could install these guys. Actually, now I already put the frame away. Let's just move on to, so this is what we did last week. We did all this last week. Yeah, so here's where we're at. We're at the AB motor mounts. So I guess this is nice. Let's start pulling out all the things we'll need for this. I think I've got motors. Yeah, motors are right here. Tuxedo suggestions, put small pieces of masking tape over the ends of the bed rails to prevent the sliding. I just said that, Tuxedo. I said that I should have probably done that, but I didn't. I agree. That is probably what I should do. Is this all? Okay. So so I don't lose these, I'm gonna take these motor mounts out. But yeah, I agree. If it okay, I won't wait till it happens again. If we bring the frame back out and I remember, I will throw pieces of tape over them. No worries. Yeah, I just said that. I said that I should have done that for the first time and didn't. So, okay, so M3. Yeah, let's just try to take out all of our hardware. This is M3 by 25 button heads. Cool. Now we need some M3. Let's see. We need F6 23 RSs. F6 23 RSs. That's you guys. I don't know if you guys. We'll do this. Here. Nope. There we go. That's in focus, kind of, I think. Okay, so shims we need GT2 16 teeth pulleys. I feel like we might need these guys. What are these? These are shims, M3 by 6. No. Interesting. Okay, so the manual calls for M3 by 6. I mean M3 by 7. We have M3 by 6. I'm assuming that's what we're going to be using in this case. I don't think there's any other M3 shims in here, so hopefully that's fine. But yeah, we need some pulleys. Let's see, pulleys. This is a 16-2. Yeah, I think we are going to need probably these guys. And what are these? These are 16 idlers, 16. So this is pulley. Bearings, 6 GT2. So maybe we don't need idlers for this section. 16. Okay, so here's our other pulleys. We need more bearings. So yeah, that makes sense. We need the flat. So these are the flanged bearings, and we're also going to need the non-flanged bearings. What are these? M3 6 button heads. M3 8s. M3. For not having all that many pieces, I feel like I am struggling. Are these M3 6s? Nope, these are M2.5 by 6s. Where in the world are our bearings? So these are all flanged bearings. I don't see any bearings. Oh, these are, okay, so M3 6s we've got. These are M3 6s. So we need M3 30 socket heads now. Those are going to be pretty long. M3 35, M3 30 socket heads. Okay. So the last thing we're missing from this initial top spot, I believe, is bearings. F6 to 23 RS. That must be a typo. Because these are both saying the same thing. F623 RS, F623 RS. That must be a typo. So is there not? I assume there has to be. No, there probably isn't a smooth. Hold on. Where's the bearing stacks? bearing stack, bearing stack. Okay, there's not. They're all flange bearings. We don't, because the belt size on this. Okay, and these are M325 pins, which I think is what we're using on this. Question mark. These are standoffs. These are bolts. These are bolts. These are bolts. These are pulleys. I think we're using these pins. I'm almost positive that that is what we're using. Okay, let's throw all this hardware back in the bag. And let's look for our printed parts now. So, let's see. Okay. It should be one more motor mount, or yeah, motor mount piece. Start taking stuff out till I find it, I guess. There it is. Okay. Hey, Croc. Okay. So, if we are matching up this piece, let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's not what I want to do. So if we're matching up this piece, this is not... This looks like the right piece. Okay, it doesn't look like... This piece looks like it's using pins. But then this piece does not look like it's using pins. So I am not sure. Let's see. Let's read. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can maybe see this too. More options than a brand new car. As Micron is as awesome as it is, there are two options for the AB. You can have a screw variant, no it isn't broken, or you have a pin variant. The former uses screws to house the various components of the bearing stack, the latter uses pins. We're going to be clever here and show you both options as the process is very similar. Bearded, how's it going? Thank you so much for the gift of membership, man. Default decision screws. Sweet, simple, and low effort as you can get. Precision. I have to assume we're using pins, I think. The thing that is throwing me is... So on this printed part, let's see, like, let me grab another one. Okay, so looking at this piece right here, I don't know how well this will show. Not well, but see there's these, like, there's a hole here and a hole here. I guess it's not really a hole, but a slot. To me, that makes sense. Like, absolutely, that's where a pin would go because it doesn't go all the way through. However, on this side, the holes go all the way through, and I would think that the pin would potentially fall out. But maybe once it's all in place, if this is the top piece, the pin isn't going to ride up. I don't know. I wonder if the CAD shows both options. Let's see. Let's exit isolation. Okay. Why are we not rotating? I thought shift was always my rotate button. What is going on here? There we go. Okay, don't need shift. Okay, so let's... Where's all the panels? Let's hide all panels. Panel assembly. Oops. Okay, so what I want to look at is this area. Nice! Thank you, man, for the 5 Get to memberships, buddy. Cheers. Was that? Oh, it was the software crashing. I was like, are we getting the blue screen right now? What's going on? Additive Adam, thank you. Thanks so much for the 25 months. That freaked me out. Not gonna lie, that freaked me out. I thought we just were gonna blue screen. This Windows PC, I have not done any upgrades to in probably 5 years. Let's see, we've been out here for 2, yeah, it's been like 5 years, so that freaked me out. I thought we were blue screening. Yeah, this is gonna take a while to load. GP's mentioned that if I save the file, it should save it in like Shaper's local format and then open quicker. That doesn't seem to be working. I've tried it a couple times now. Hey Viking! When I had Fusion Model open, it was using like 12 gigs of RAM on my machine. It's a hefty boy. Yeah, this is Shaper. I just would love to confirm that these are the right pieces. I have another idea. Of what we can check. Hold on. Let's set this off to the side for a sec here. And while it's doing its, oh, did it already load? Okay, cool. Okay, let's see if it crashes again, then I'm super sad. Okay, face A drive upper pin. Great. I just want to isolate this entire assembly. Rod, thank you, man. 39 freaking months. That's crazy. Squirrel and Cheer, thank you so much, man. Okay, so we don't need the whole entire gantry. We want AB drives. That's fine. We'll just isolate the whole AB drives. 39 months. It's so crazy. Older than my oldest. All right. So what I want to see is, this looks like it's a bolt. So the default setup in here is using bolts, not using like a pin. So the next thing I want to check then is if we go to the Micron GitHub, I would like to see Micron Plus. I'd like to see if I can see the STL files and see the difference between the two, just to verify that I am using the right thing. So if we go to gantry and we go to AB drives. Okay, so there's double shear drive. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. What is that? Twist lock retainer. It's not at all what I was expecting to see right now. Okay, here we go. A drive upper pinned. Oops. Let's just look at all the A drive stuff. A lower pinned. Okay. So this is how it looks pinned. And it does have holes that go all the way through it, as we can see right here. So there is 1, 2, 3 holes. So this other side, also has holes that go all the way through it. This one has a pin spot there. And this one also has a pin spot there. I guess the main thing I was interested in seeing is that does the one, so that's what I was expecting to see. What I was not expecting to see was an open hole here for the pin, because I thought maybe it would have a chance to fall out, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So we're gonna move forward and assume that what we have is correct. All but one is covered with a double shear cover. Got it. Okay, we'll just move forward then. I just, before building them, I wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna be building them wrong from the get-go. So it seems like that's not the case. So we are going with this. I am at 42 months. That's nuts. Is 42 months the maximum? Okay. So let's take a look at the pins. And we need M325s. I don't want to lose these. This looks maybe too large. Nope, this is perfect. So this is the size we need. And it looks like we're gonna need 4 of them. So 1, 2. We might need more than 4. I don't actually know how many we need. And 3 by 25. Okay. It says that there's 6 of those. Yeah, that looks right based off what I'm seeing here. Okie doke. I hit the like button twice for good measure. Thanks, Bearded. I appreciate the overachieving. Okay, let's see how easily these go in or how difficult it is to get these going. I'm also gonna bring you guys lower. I feel like the top-down view when I'm working on something like this is kind of awkward, but you guys let me know. Let's try it like that. Maybe like that. Okay, so we want a pin going in here. It's tight fit. I wonder if I should be tapping it or just leaving it. I'll just do this. I'll get a flat side of this and just push down a little bit. Oh, there's a hole. Let's try the Fabrico drivers. There we go. Okay. Seems like it went all the way in, and that is a tight fit. So it does make me a bit less concerned about it moving around. Did that go all the way in? Sure did. Okay. Okay, cool. That's good. It says for the pin variant, place the HDRI frame upside down and insert. Yeah, we did that. Fine. Still more options. Yeah, now we have the option of Endstop or sensorless for homing the game tree in the Y direction. If using sensorless, there's a piece that replaces the switch. Screws, sweet, simple markers you get for just want to go look at crowd pins. Okay, so I don't know whether this is intended to be sensorless or not. Let's take a quick look at the reading material here. So this will be under electronics, I take it. Night hot, ferrules, splicers, axial fan thermistor, jag chain. Is there another section of electronics that maybe starts on this page? Sure is. Touch panel, micro SD, AC inlet, Omrons. Nope, SSR, DIN rail, machine screw, spring, limit switch. Okay, so there's a single limit switch of that type, which I'm assuming is for clicky, probably. Machine screws. I kind of get the feeling that this is sensorless, question mark. USB adapter, female, splicer. Okay, one thing I can do as well, it says that if you are doing sensorless, that there is a this little piece here, and I'm pretty sure if we go to, here we go. So can we find that piece? Because if it's on here, and this was intended for, is this it? Y Endstop sensorless plug. Cool. I'm gonna use that and make the assumption that it is sensorless, because this was given to me by HeartK for this kit specifically. So now I just need to find that piece. It's a tiny little orange piece. Does it have any sort of screw on it? It doesn't look like it. Looks like it's supposed to be an accent piece, so it should be a tiny orange piece. This might be it. Definitely looks like it. Okay. I think mine had Endstops and was going to use clicky. Endstops and was going to use clicky by default. Yeah, I think this one doesn't use Endstops. I only saw, I mean, I could have done a better look, but a quick glance over the BOM from LDO doesn't look like it had it. And and HeartK had me print this piece out, so I'm gonna assume this is going right here like that. Essentially, it's just so easy to set up on LDO. I don't see a reason not to do it. I mean, I like sensorless a lot. There's times where I don't find it as repeatable. Like if you're doing a bunch of multicolor stuff that might require rehoming to a specific spot, it can be pretty dang accurate. Like I think this is using 2209s. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not actually. It's not. It's using 5160s, isn't it? Okay, so pins. Let's do our bearing stack now. So we're gonna need bearings. We're gonna need shims. So on the inside, we have got shim. Bearing. Bearing. Okay. And shim. Cool. And then on the other side, it is a double stack. So it is, oops, my little sensorless thing fell out. So we've got shim, bearing. How's everybody's week going? I know that for people in the US, at least towards the eastern US, maybe, seems like you guys got snow. There's a few people I follow online that are, I think, towards that direction, and it looked like there was quite a bit of snow. Okay, so it's double shims in the center, like that. And then another bearing, and then one more shim on top, like that. Let me just, oops, let me double check that I didn't goof that. That looks right. And then I see 1, 2, yeah, this can go down further though. There we go. Cool, that looks good. Put our little sensorless piece back in. I'm sure that once we get the top on, maybe it will prevent it from being able to move around. Let's see, we got over 14.5 inches over the weekend in Iowa. That's crazy. Yeah, one of my coworkers lives in Ohio, and I know that they posted they had a snow day there. Pretty sure my coworkers that were in Canada got snow as well. But then, yeah, I know other people too. And we got a little snow 2 days here in Montreal. But nothing to get excited about. Got it. Okay, so we should be good on this page. Shim, bearing, shim, bearing. Yep, that looks good. Looks fine. What does this say? It says preventative measures. Now, before you knock it overhand, have to rebuild the bearing shaft stacks approximately 7 times. We're going to secure them in place with the A drive lower piece. If using screws, you'll need to carefully screw them into the highlighted holes. If using pins, these are push fit. Ensure your end stop switch or spacers slid in the corresponding position. Okay. So it's going to probably be in the same orientation, I would think. Is this right? This looks right. Wait. No, that can't be right. What is going on here? Okay, it has to be one of these two. Right? Yes, it has to be one of these two. And it looks like it's this guy. Why are we not going in? Why are we not going in? Okay, I'll get that piece in a second here. I just want to see why this is not going in at all. It's pushing through on the other side. Okay, let's try something here. Let's grab another pen. And this is the hole. Let's see, it's supposed to go into this guy. Yeah, that is tight. I'm nervous a little bit on this one. I don't want to obviously push this one in too far because it's not even supposed to go in here, but I just want to see how much force it's going to take. And that is quite a bit of force. Like I see the part turning white a little bit, like an ABS when it's stressed out. You put too much stress on it, you can hardly see it, but at the very top there's a little bit of white. So I wonder if I should apply a little bit of heat to this part. It's very cold in this garage. I wonder if I should apply a little bit of heat to try to make it. I'm doing pretty good. Not excited about shoveling after work. Got a promotion offer today. Oh, nice. Congratulations. That was to Calking. Congratulations, man. That is awesome. Yeah, we've only had a shovel here a handful of times and I can't say I love it. So I think I'm gonna try to just heat the part a little bit. I'm not so concerned about this guy, the shallow one. It's the one that's going into the deeper part where I have a little bit of concern. I think that the heat gun is upstairs. It is. I'm just gonna change camera angle to this. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run and grab it. I don't want to split this part if I don't have to. And I think if I can get a little bit of heat, it'll just help it get into place. And I also don't want to ream it out because I think that we want it to be at least a little bit snug. So yeah, I'll check. Be right back. Jackson's got such good ears. Hey, bud, he's working. It's cold out here. You don't want to be out here right now. You want to say hi? Okay, come here. Climb up. Barefoot, cold feet in the garage. Yeah, stand up. You say hi? Are you playing with your cars? This is a driver to install screws or bolts. Tighten them down. Don't, Daddy needs that. That's a very important piece, Bubby. That's for the sensorless homing. Yeah, leave it right there. Thank you. Okay, you gotta go inside. It's too cold out here now. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Those are Knipex pliers. Can you say Knipex? Knipex? Knipex. Okay, thank you, Bubbies. All right. Ready? Here you go. I'm gonna carry you because I don't want you to walk barefoot again.
Hey, don't hit the car.
That's not nice. Here you go, Bob. You're welcome. Okay. Yeah, I like his shirt too, although it's too short for him. It's like he's a little long. He's a really long kid. And so he came out with it today. I was like, it's like a crock top on you. Oh, nice. Thanks, man, for the AC fun. I appreciate it. Yeah, we will get the. My goal. I told Aaron yesterday I need to get the heater mounted. So hopefully by next week I can at least get the heater mounted, and that'll get us through the winter time. But if we're getting snow in the next couple days, it'll definitely drop in temperature down here, or in here. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. The game plan is just to warm up really this taller section, and let's see how it goes. It'll take a minute for this to warm up because it's battery powered. Here, let's zoom out a little bit too. There we go. The goal is to not damage the part. It went in really nicely on the other side, but this one specific section is definitely a deeper cavity. This is gonna be LDO. Oh, let's also put this piece back in because once this is in, I will not be able to do that. This is LDO. The blue is ABS and the orange is ASA. It's still not that one. Give it a shot. It's going kind of. God, that feels like it shouldn't be that hard, and I see the part is definitely not loving it. This doesn't seem right, man. This just does not seem right. I wonder if I've got like a mallet I can tap. I don't love that idea either. I just don't know. If heat's not doing it, I don't really want to ream it out. I just need to get it in place once, ideally. I'm gonna tap it. If it ends up breaking the part, then it ends up breaking the part, but the reality is it's got to get on. It's going on slowly. No, the piece is, it's tight. The hole that the pin needs to go into is tighter than I would like. I'd use the part from the CAD as the STL is not correct. Wait, what? Okay, we're definitely making progress. I feel bad just banging on these parts. I wonder at this point if I can just whack the pins instead of hitting everything. Let's try that. Could you put the pins in the freezer so they shrink a bit? I mean, possibly, yeah, but we're already kind of like, I feel like we're already in it at this point. Let's just see if we can do it. A little bit of sandpaper. This one's basically in. So let's see if we can get this big guy the rest of the way in. Yeah, it is just so tight. I don't know if this is gonna I can heat this part up, but like it's stressed out. It's really stressed out, the part. I'm stressed out. Yeah, we're gonna do a couple more whacks, and then I'm probably gonna hit this part with the heat gun. It didn't split, like it's quite stressed. I'll show you guys. I'll hit it with the heat gun and see. Okay, I think that one's probably in enough. I don't know if the pins are supposed to stick out a hair, if it's supposed to be flush on both sides. It seems like that's as far as we're going in. It's definitely as far as we're going in. So the pins are sticking up a hair. I don't know whether it's supposed to be like that or not. You can see, I can measure it if you want, but like they're sticking out a hair. But like I mean, on the bottom of the part, starting to see stress marks, which is really making me think that I should not try to get in any further. Like we've basically bottomed them out. I'm gonna hit the part with some heat. But I don't really feel comfortable going in any further with these pens. It's hard to get even into that spot. The parts should be already, like, they're designed for ABS, so you shouldn't have to do anything else. I mean, that's generally how it's been with every boron slash, I mean, I know this is not a boron, but it's still intended to be printed with those same materials. Yeah, I don't know on the pins, whether they're supposed to be sticking out a little bit like that. I just don't feel comfortable going in further. Because if I'm seeing white on the very bottom here, which it's a little bit tough to see because of the color of the part, but like you can see white right there from like the edge of the pin. I don't want to go in any further because to me we're basically at the wall. To be fair, I did mine like they were Trident idlers, but Mini, I think a couple people in the Discord were working on the pins. I recall SP had some issues and had to reprint the part. Yeah, and these pins, this guy's up a little bit higher than this guy, but I just don't know what the call is. I mean, bearings are spinning fine. And the CAD seems like it doesn't show the pin mod, it just shows the screw version, so I'm not entirely sure. I don't think that anything we did is going to compromise the actual part. I just don't know, with the way these are bolting, if having these pins sticking out a little bit is going to be an issue or not. I'm gonna say probably not. It looks like the motors bolt on this side, and if the motors bolt on this side's gonna be up in the air. So if we look at this and we exit isolation mode, oops, it's not what I meant to do. So the pins are gonna be let's see if I have this piece like this. So the only thing the pin is going to be bumping into is this piece right here. And I wonder if this piece... Is this part difficult to get to when it's assembled in the printer? I mean, it's part of the flying gantry, and I haven't had to take that apart before on like a 2.4, so I don't know entirely. I'm curious to see though, if we look at this piece, is there a section for... Is there a section for the pin? Okay, this looks like it's the piece. And this is gonna bolt on like this. So this to me, wait. I'm curious. I think that there's the hole. I think the hole in the bottom of this part is for the pin. Yeah, it's definitely for the pin. Okay, yeah. So the pin that's sticking up isn't going to be an issue because there is a hole in this part. That's my only concern. So that's not an issue. So the only thing that we need to potentially be concerned about is, did whacking on the part like that damage it as far as the integrity of it goes? This side's totally fine. It's this side, if I, even hitting it with heat, it's hard for me to get the heat directly to this spot. So like, let me zoom in a little bit more. You can see the white, right? Like, you can see the white on this inner wall from where the pin went in. It might be a non-issue. I have a more powerful heat gun that we could try to hit and see if we can target it a bit more. It has higher airflow. Let's try that as like a last effort. And if that doesn't work, then I think we just move forward. Aside from printing out the part again and sort of scaling that hole before printing out the part, I don't really know what else we could do. So let's try. Here, let me grab this guy. Get our airflow up. Oh, this is not plugged in. What's going on? I must have plugged this in the wrong. Okay, there we go. Just send it. Yeah. Okay, let me just try to hit it real quick with some more air. This one's definitely a more aggressive one, so I don't want to melt the part completely. Yeah, I cannot go more than that. I see the part getting glossy. That's enough. We're not doing more. Okay, well, it did get the part a little bit warmer than I would have liked, but you can kind of see the hint of gloss right there. But it did get more heat to where I wanted it to, so the part does look more solid now. So I think we move forward. I am concerned that we might have to do that exact same thing again on the other side, but it doesn't. It looks to be a little bit different. So let's get back to it and see. The holes in the printed parts look a little wonky to me. Some of them I could see. Yeah, okay, so like this one's definitely wonky. This was a wall generating issue. The wall right here. Let's see if I can get, just looks bad. It looks like it's gonna almost pop out. That doesn't look good. But a lot of the other holes look fine, so I don't know. That seems to me like that would have been a slicer thing. I do have a vise. I have a really large vise, actually. Okay, let's just continue and see. I don't recommend doing what I did, but desperate times. Okay, we already double checked the shims. Okay. What did Kegel say? Put the part on a heat bed at 100C for about an hour or two. You need to warm it up. I built it in annealed PETF. Holy crap. Did you use pins too? So yours was a struggle? Got it. So you reamed yours then. Yeah, my concern with reaming was that the pins would be too loose. But I don't know, like that might have been a better solution than using brute force and doing what I did. I don't really know. I don't know which one was the better call. Hey, Balance. Okay, so for these, this is going like this. Let's do the same thing. So we need those little set screws. Where are they? There they are. The pins were size for this size. Wait, so it was a great fit. Had enough resistance so they don't work themselves out. Oh, got it. Yeah, I measured the pins and it looked like they were like 2.97. I have a 3mm reamer, but my concern is that if I were to do that, then sorry, thinking right now. Yeah, they would be too loose, and then I'd be reprinting the part anyway. Okay, so 13.8 millimeters, 13. Okay, 13.82. We'll get it within like a or not a millimeter, but hold on. I'm still gonna be partially eyeballing it, so it doesn't, we'll just get it close. And this is the distance from the top of here to here. So let's see. So right about, motor shaft on this is super long, which I think is because it is going to be supported on top, possibly. Okay, let's really quickly check that again. Pinned is how default. Pinned is now default. Got it. Feels pretty dang close to where we want it. 13.6. No worries, man. Are you typing on a phone or computer? Okay, let me do a little bit more ugga-dugga. Okay, that seems plenty tight. Double sheer goodness. Are you not blown away by all of these Gucci options? There are 2 mounting options for the AV motors. So ours is dual shear. Dual shear adds a second bearing to further support the motor shaft when it's under tension from the belts. If you're not planning on using dual shear, you can screw the motor directly. Default decision. Okay, so we are using this. So we are going to need, let's see, it looks like wires going out the right side. Then this is facing like this. Okay. And then we need that top piece that I just put away. So here they are. Okay, so it's gonna go like that, but we need a bearing to go in here. So I didn't take out these bearings. This is a larger F695 bearing. Yeah. I'll get the bearing. Does the bearing go? But the bearing looks like it. Oh wait. Where does the bearing go in? It looks like it just goes in from the top here, right? based off this image, it just pushes in from the top of this part. Like this. There we go. Oh, do you push it all the way down, I assume? Whoa, that really drops down. It really drops in there. Okay. Cool. And now we need M335 socket heads, which I know we took out a moment ago. Oh. Wait, no, it said M330. So let's get M335. M340s, M335s. Hey, Petty. Goes in from the top and uses a twist lock. Nice, okay. I assume I have the twist lock. I don't see it in the instructions yet, but I will. Curious if it calls it out at all. Don't want a dual shear if you're not using dual shear. Huh, it doesn't show the lock piece. I saw it in the CAD a second ago though, so I know what you're talking about. Let me see if I exit isolation mode. This little guy, right? It's just kind of, let me see if I can find that. And I assume it's gonna be in the same color probably as this, so orange. Maybe it's not, actually. This looks like the piece, and it's definitely in blue, so. Okay. So this looks like the little nut piece that basically goes in. Okay, is there a trick to getting it to turn? Is there a tool? It definitely needs to spin. I see that. Can I do it before? Let's see. So it looks like it twists to the right. Boy, I use Nipix. Okay, got it. So it is. Maybe I should secure this in place first. Let's see. Yeah, let's secure. No, because then I'm gonna have a socket head. Okay, we'll try it like this. I've got my Nipix, so let's see if we can just do this. Maybe about there. Baby. All right. That worked. Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do these last 3 bolts then on this guy. So one goes here, all the way down. One goes here. One goes here. Okay. These are gonna be 2.5 millimeters. This guy, yep. Every time someone asks, he seemingly moves the release date a week longer. Wait, did they update? Oh, got it. Yeah, so far I've mostly been referencing the manual. I mean, there's been a few question marks where I'm like, all right, let's check the CAD, but so far it's been largely the manual. I know it says work in progress, so I anticipate there will be gaps like these little twist pieces. But so far, I'd say the manual's been pretty dang good. Okay. Okay, I think that's tight. So the last thing is just, it looks like an M3x6 button head, which is gonna be right here. Yeah, creating manuals is a ton of work. I work with, let's see, can we get this through? Yeah. So I'm part of the content team at Lightburn, and most of my team, that's not true, not most of my team, but a fair amount of my team works on the documentation. Like I do the videos for the documentation, but the amount of work that goes into documentation, like good documentation, is absolutely bonkers. It is a ton of work. So every time I see like documentation that's like thorough and covers a lot of things, like it is not a simple task or a fun one at that. But boy, is it a necessary one for people to be able to follow along. Okay, that looks, I mean, good. So I am relatively pleased. I think that the thin wall right here looks a little bit janky. I think that it is very likely the slicing parameters. This came in a 3MF file, but it was not intended for the H2C. I can't remember. I think it was sliced for like a Trident maybe. And so when I switched things over, some of the settings got changed, and something tells me the way the walls were generated on a couple of these parts is part of the issue. My favorite kind of documentation is the kind I have to do. Hey Armor, going pretty good, man. The pins, getting the pins in was a little stressful. The tolerances on half of it was really nice, but tolerances on the other half where I had to go into a deeper pocket was very stressful. It required my friend the mallet, and it was still stressful. But it seems like it all worked out. The part didn't split, and yeah, we got one of the, I think this is the A side of the AB motors. Pretty sure that's like the last step for right now. Yeah, cool. So now we're on the next side. So we get to do it again. So fingers crossed that we are able to get through this without doing any irreparable damage. I guess nothing's irreparable. We can always okay, so on this side it goes into the deeper pocket first. So I am absolutely going to hit this with heat. I think we'll use the more aggressive heat. I'm gonna go further away because I did see the part getting a little bit glossy on the last one. But let's try this. Let's see if we can just convince this part to accept our pin without such a scary struggle. So I really want to get more than just the top, like the walls where the pin's going into, because that's where we saw a lot of those stress marks. But yeah, this is a really hot wand. This is like for reflowing, like BGA reflow stuff or rework. So I definitely don't want to do too much. That might be honestly enough. Let's also not have it pointing towards me so I don't catch on fire. The time it's taking me to get back over here might be not great for what we're trying to do here. It's already probably too late. Yeah, it's already looking stressed out. Okay, we're likely just gonna have to do what we did last time, which is just YOLO it, hope it doesn't split, and then and then hit it with heat after to try to repair some of that. I'm wondering if I should, instead of trying to hit the pin, if I should hit the printed part like I did in the last one against the quartz. I think that went in a little bit. Oh, on this one, am I going in the wrong? No, this is the right one. Okay, so this one needs to go flush. So this one needs to go quite a bit further. There we go. I went a little too far. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that is, yeah, I know, beware of part deformation. So let's do the same thing now. It went all the way in. That should be the only one that's really challenging. The other ones that are not as deep, the holes seem to be a lot easier to work with without requiring any ugga-duggas. I don't even think that's an ugga-dugga. Steve wouldn't call it an ugga-dugga. Any wham-bams or any bams? A normal person would heat the pin. I don't know, is that better to heat the pin? Yeah, maybe. That's probably not a bad idea. I guess if you heat, you'd have to be really careful if you're heating the pin and not burn yourself. Because heating the pin, I'm gonna go slow with this. I don't think I'm doing more than that. We're gonna call it. That's fine. A little bit of white is fine. Sanding the pin usually works for me. That is probably what my recommendation would be. Overheating the part or heating the pin is just sanding the pin. That's probably what I would recommend doing to anybody that is ever like following along. I would do that for sure. We've done that in the past on builds, is just heat the pin. So there's a little bit of white stress, like if I look at the part like that right there. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, honestly. I've had plenty of parts that have had little stress marks like that and they've been fine. I think the pin's gonna hold totally secure, especially with it being supported on both sides. Aren't I worried about the integrity of the part now? Not really, no. No, I think the part is going to be fine. Especially because it's being sandwiched on both sides. Yeah, I agree. So I agree to an extent. Like GPs is saying I wouldn't sand the pin as it should be a good fit. You definitely don't want to over sand it. You definitely don't want to over sand it, which you can absolutely do. The good thing is like I had to sand pins. I know for sure on the Merc build I had to sand the pins, and I chucked it into a drill and then just basically held the sandpaper around it and spun it. It's a slow process. Like, I mean, if you don't definitely want to just sand it for like many minutes straight, but like it's not going to just shave off a ton of material, so you should be able to shave off a little bit to make it maybe fit better. In this case, like, I mean, there's a couple things. One, you could heat it like I did, which didn't seem to be super effective. You can do what GP said, which is try to heat the pin and see if that helps it force the material, like soften the material around it. But you just have to be, you know, make sure you're using like some needle nose pliers to hold the pin while you're doing it and don't burn yourself. You can sand the pin a little bit. You can try to adjust the CAD a little bit to make those holes larger. Like, I mean, there's a bunch of options. You'd sand the pin rather than ream the hole. I'm confused. Well, I think that with reaming the hole, the only option would be, at least for me, like I have a 3mm reamer, right? So that's what the hole is going to be. And with the pin being 2.97, it's I don't know how loose it would be. I mean, we could try. I wish I had an extra set of parts because it'd be fun to try an experiment of reaming the parts and seeing how loose it would be. I think that the pins would be loose if I used the 3mm reamer. My thought is that if you sand the pins, you can sand it, like, you don't have to sand it to a set amount. You can just sand it a little bit to try to find the sweet spot between it being a good fit in the printed part, but obviously not too loose for the bearings. Yeah. I just, because the pins are, I mean, they are sandwiched in a sense, but yeah, I have concerns with the pins falling out. I kind of feel you should mod the plastic printed part to work rather than modify a perfectly good pin. Reaming the hole removes too much strength, only so much wall there. I feel like there's a bunch of ways you can do a thing, and if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not, you know, if it works, like, GP said he had a reamer that worked perfectly fine for his, and if that's the case, then that's, you know, that's fine. The walls are relatively thin in the center, which is where you can see the stress mark. So I guess that is another consideration as well. If you expand on the plastic, then, you know, what's going to be potentially worse for the actual integrity of the part? You know, we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward, man. I brute forced it with Nipix. Okay, let's do the other pin. The other pin should go in much easier. Yeah, this pin goes in piece of cake. It's something about these specific, like these deeper ones where they just required a lot more force. Nipix, I mean, yeah, using the Nipix might have been a better route as well, just to get it over the pin and press it in. You know, anyways. How long ago did you print those parts? 2.5 weeks, maybe? Maybe 2.5, 3 weeks? It was before we started the build, and this is week 3, so 3 weeks-ish? Hey, Nadir. It's been a little bit. Yeah, I am not here claiming that the method I did of getting this to fit is the best method. I would argue it is not the best method. If I just had time and we weren't doing a build on stream, I would very likely print out a couple versions of this and do a little bit of experimentation to see which one seems to be the best. This was definitely a brute force. Yeah, the pins are a little bit tight. We'll try a different bearing. This one doesn't even want to go on. Jeez. Why did that get... First bearing slid on fine. Dude. That second bearing is hardly on, but does not want to come off. I had to print my annealed PTG parts a few times until I got the shrinkage. Yeah. It's actually funny that you're using, I'm doing a video on PET glass fiber right now. I've actually already done a video on it before, but I'm doing a video specifically on Polymakers for a couple of reasons. And boy, has that been a little bit of a challenge. I know PET and PETG sticks to powder coated PEI, but I just yellowed it. The first time I tested that stuff out, I didn't have issues. This time, part of it was that why is this not? No, like, there we go. You just got to be real specific about how you angle it on. The first time I printed with it, it stuck down well, but didn't damage the bed. This time, it completely bonded to the PEI. I like spent way too long trying to get it off and was able to get it off enough to print it. And then this morning, I actually somehow don't have glue stick, which is wild considering like I used to use glue stick on every printer for years. We did not have glue stick in the house. I had to go get it this morning. But part of the issue was that the Z offset was a hair too close, and that makes all the difference when you're dealing with a sticky material. These pins might be a little bit wide, and that might be the issue more than the printed parts. I don't think that these bearings should be quite so difficult to slide down. The color combo is LDO, this is blue ABS, and this is their LDO's orange ASA. But yeah, these seem more challenging than I'm used to slide onto these. So I wonder if that's part of the issue too. Lube them up. I'm looking at PTCF as we speak. Have you seen a bomb online for the LDO kit? I have not seen a bomb online, Reverend. If you poke me on Discord, I'm fine to snap photos of the bomb that I have here in front of me, the paper bomb. I don't think I'll scan it. It'll probably just be photos if you're fine with that. But yeah, I can just take like 4 or 5 photos on my phone if you want to check it out. But I haven't seen anything online. I printed PA12 holster for Leatherman. Sure, right now the Prusa PA sheet makes it so easy. Prusa PA sheet. Why can't I speak? That's different than like the satin, right? That's like specifically for PA. Is it Garolite? Yeah, I like PEI for a lot of things, but on PETG as well, but PET specifically, it just bonds to it. I'm gonna show it in the video so that way people can see like don't do what I did. It'll be okay. I mean, it's a dual-sided sheet, but yeah, I got a print going down right now with glue stick, but for some reason it looks like the extrusion's a little bit off, which is throwing me because I did run a flow test and everything looked good. So I'm gonna try, I have a couple ideas. Okay, that looks fine. Let's double check it though. Shim, bearing, bearing, shim, shim, bearing, bearing, shim. This looks fine as well. Okay. A little bit of oil can help. It's steel on steel. Do you have a jewelry file? There could be a micro burr on the bearing. I don't have it. I have a bunch of files. I don't have a jewelry file specifically though. Still working out how to print PP. Glass fiber pre-6 plate is too expensive. Yeah, Polypro kind of sucks. Glass filled should be easier than regular Polypro, but yeah, the stuff I was using was packing tape, which it works. It's not ideal. I wouldn't really be recommending it more than like if you needed it for something quickly functional, but I know that there's also some adhesives as well, but I can't speak on how well they work. I don't think I've used any of the adhesives. Okay. Double check those shims. Okay, so this side should, and keyword should, go on a lot easier because this is shallow. Yeah, this is the shallow side. So let's see if this just goes right in. Let me make sure they're lined up correctly. That looks fine. That looks fine. Nope. Still wanting to push through. I might Nipix these. I just want to make sure that it is lined up correctly. Let's see if I can just get my thumb on it and push. It's not. That went in a little bit. No, not really. Okay, yeah, let's Nipix this. A little bit more. The Magigoo polypropylene stuff works well. That's one of the ones I remember seeing. I just never used it myself. I try not to, like if I try not, oh, okay, that's too wide. I try not to speak too much on things I haven't actually tested myself. If there's enough people that I know that print using something, I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm not too, okay, that seems like that worked fine. Let's make sure this side is lined up. It looks okay. I think we're gonna need to go in further than that though. We definitely are. Yeah, I've got the bomb literally right here. So actually, if you remind me, I can probably do it during the stream in a moment here. Just so that way it's done. Okay, that seems like that went all the way. And that went all the way. Okay, I think that's good. Parts are spinning, pins are sticking out of hair. Don't see really any, oh, there's a little bit of stress mark on this one. That's fine. That's how the other one was as well. Yeah, I think the pins, I don't know, whatever. I guess the reason doesn't truly matter. We won't really know, but I wonder if the pins are slightly large on the ends and that's what was causing part of the problem. But it might not be. I don't want to say that that's the issue. I'm fine with saying it's user error. We can totally blame. I'll take the blame. Okay. Hard to get the PP GF Magigoo, but I think it's what I need to get. BuildTech have stopped their Polypro sheet. Is BuildTech still around? Man, I loved BuildTech for so long. But I know they're not, I don't think they do events anymore, and like, I just don't think they're around much. Okay, so for this one, we want 11.6 on our calipers. So let's grab our other motor, which is right here. Let's grab our, where is our other pulley? Here we are, last pulley. The upside is that once they're in, they're not going anywhere. The pins, or what? the pins, is that what you're saying? Yeah, they're definitely not going anywhere. I have a feeling everything is gonna be fine. I still just, that whole like instance we just went through, I could see someone trying to build this and being like, what in the world? Which, I mean, we did too. But I think it's all going to be fine. And I don't, like I said, I don't think it's going to affect performance. Or not performance, but integrity, I guess, more of the part, which in turn, I suppose, would affect performance. Okay. So we are putting in, we're just doing single set screws on this too. It seems like this kit only has enough for one set screw per pulley, which is a little odd. It's probably something else I should note as well, but considering it is like, there's a flat section on these motor shafts and they've got Loctite on them, it should be fine. I still think that it would be not a bad thing to include a second one in this kit for all of them, but as far as, is it necessary? I'm gonna say probably not. 11.6 is what we want for this guy. 11.6. There we go. Okay, and this one is measuring from the top of the motor to the bottom of this upper lip. So let's turn this like this. And we want this. That's pretty low. I'm gonna say right about there. Okay, before I tighten it down, let's make sure we're within range. That looks pretty dang good to me. Like maybe a hair down. We're gonna leave it. I think it's fine. It's pretty dang close. Okay. Okay. Motors in. Also, we have a hard cutoff of 3 o'clock my time today, which is an hour and a half. I don't know that we'll go that long. But we'll get the giveaway open in 3 minutes. Someone remind me in like 3 minutes to do it. Okay, so we did that. Yeah, we did that. This is saying now it's the time to sit and admire your work again. As we previously mentioned, the rest of the steps are the same as A drive, so once you follow those, you should do the same. Wait, you should have something that resembles below. Oh, bearing retainers. So it does mention the bearing retainers. Okay, cool. So let's just go back up to the other one and basically mirror that, which I think is just the orientation. So I assume that if on this one we've got motor going out this side, we probably want it going out the opposite direction on this end. So let's see, like this. I think like this. Maybe? What am I doing here? Yes, so this should be opposite. Okay, so yeah, this looks like it should go right here, like so, which is cable going out left side here. Then we need our bearing. Where's that bearing at? There you are. My thumb actually hurts because in the process of trying to remove some of the remnants of the PET, some of the PET glass fiber, I was using one of those scrapers and had my thumb in a place where it shouldn't have been and slipped and nicked myself. Luckily it wasn't horrible, but it was at that point where I told myself, I'm done trying to clear this. Like this sheet is too far gone. Is this upside down? This feels like I did this. No, this has to be the right? There we go. Yeah. Okay, now I can push this all the way down. There we go. And then we insert this like so. Let me just make sure. Okay, so this one, it's turning towards the left. Just don't want to make sure I don't force it in the wrong direction. I did not Loctite the grub screws, but the LDO kit comes with Loctited grub screws. There's already like dried up Loctite on them. Is it as good as like actually Loctiting it on the spot? I don't know, but in the case where LDO kits have had Loctite, I haven't done it in the past and it's never been an issue. So we're gonna just roll with it. But if you were building this not from this kit and your grub screws didn't have Loctite, then yeah, you'd absolutely want to Loctite them. Okay, so I think that looks correct. And we were using M330s. which are not these guys. Were they 30? No, 35s. They were 35s. Okay, before I do this, let me get the giveaway link open really quickly. And then I'm also just gonna grab some photos for Rev really quick. I'll just post them in the live stream channel, which will be the bomb. Yeah, no worries. I think I mentioned it, but yeah, no big deal. I don't mind. I realize in a live stream people come and go. Okay, so the giveaway link should be pinned. I'm gonna really quickly here just snap a couple of photos of the bomb, since I don't think it's posted anywhere as of yet. So let's just do this. I think it's like 5 pages. Do my best to not get shadows. Probably doesn't matter that much, but all right, page 1. Okay, there's gonna be some shadows because I have to hold it. I'm not gonna undo the staple, but 2. 3. Hey, Benny! Happy hump day. happy December. Happy first Wednesday of December. Okay. So I will just really quickly on my phone upload those to the live stream channel of Discord. So if anybody is interested in seeing what the bomb is, this is all stuff that I assume is going to be posted publicly, because usually that's what happens with a kit. But for anyone that's curious as to what it comes with, manage. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they should all be sent, so you should have them. Hey, John. Okay, let's continue on now. I think we're not done. So we're gonna install the screws and then we're done with this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hello. Okay. December, I know. This year has flown by. I feel like it was just July yesterday. I don't understand. It's not that like a lot of things haven't happened this year and it hasn't felt like a full year, because it has felt like a lot of stuff's happened, but I just don't understand. It's strange how some of the days, and even weeks, but mostly days, can feel so long, but then the years just fly by. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's become even scarier now having kids, because like I don't realize how much, like looking at myself, I don't really realize how much I've aged. I feel it when I wake up like today with a sore back and shoulder, but having kids now and like seeing just a photo from a year ago of last Christmas to now, I'm like, oh my God, like what in the world? So it's kind of freaky. It's freaky. I don't like how quickly everything's going. Called growing older, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. 1,045 people watching? That can't be right. That can't. Maybe is that supposed to be 145 or? Yeah, if you're not hit the like button, please do. Hit the like button for mallets. Okay, so let's try to get this bolt in here. There's one tiny screw that goes right here. Nope, that's not how you do it. Oh, come on. Just need to get the that kind of worked. Let's see. Come on, buddy. There we go. You did it. Just wait, I turned 40. Oh my gosh. My eyesight is already going. I'll need glasses soon. Dude, welcome to the club, man. I've been blind. My eyes have been the same like vision since I think they've gotten 0.25 worse. Like I was negative 2.75 for my almost entire life, and I finally dropped to -3. But I've had like a 1 foot radius of clarity my whole life. I don't know when my eyes went bad. I remember in 6th grade getting in trouble for like mad dogging my teacher. I had to stay after class, and I told her, I didn't know what she was talking about. And then I figured out that it was, because I always liked sitting in the back of the class because I was a big talker, go figure. It was me straining my eyes and squinting to try to read the board. And that obviously looked like, you know, like I was mad dogging her because I was looking at her like, but it was just me like straining my eyes to try to see the board. So I've had real bad eyes for a lot of my life. I think worse than my family. Days are long, but the years are short. Yeah, true. I've had 20/20 my whole life. Now they decided, oh wow. Well, hey man, you got 39 years of 20/20 vision. I will trade 39 years of that versus, I don't know if I ever had good vision. I don't know if it just took a long time to figure it out or if there was a sudden decline in my first 8 or 9 years of life. Got my eyes fixed about 7 or 8 years ago. Cost a bit, but apparently good for life. I've heard that it's not good for life because my grandma and my aunt both had LASIK, and the doctor has been telling me for 10 years that I am a perfect candidate because of the fact that my eyes have been so consistent. And I was debating for a long time getting it. The main reasons why I'm kind of on the fence now is, one, like I don't mind glasses. They've kind of become part of like me. I feel like I'd feel weird without glasses, even though I wore contacts for a lot of years. But two, I got my first floater a year and a half ago and was freaking out thinking that like something terrible was happening. If anyone doesn't know what a floater is, basically like it looks like there's a piece of dust in my eye that follows my vision everywhere. So if my eye shifts that way, then like it moves along with it. And it stays pretty much in line with my sight, but because your eye is like gel, it kind of shifts a little bit. And it's most noticeable when I'm staring at like a clear, bright thing. So like a bright website, a clear sky that's all blue. It's this little like shadow, like little thing. And I read online that LASIK, if you have that, like can increase your floater count. And so far I've just had one, knock on wood. I guess they're more common with people that are nearsighted, which is me. I think lighter eyes is more common, but I'm pretty young to get one, and I prefer not to have tons of them because luckily now I forget I have it most of the time, except for like, again, if it's a bright day or like a website, I'll be like, what the heck is that? I'm like, oh, it's just my stupid floater. So you have floaters too? Dude, all right, quick story time. I know we're building stuff, but all right, quick story time. So the moment I discovered the floater, I was standing right outside of this door. I had taken the dogs out to go to the restroom, and I don't know what I was doing, but I looked up and I was looking at the house, and our house is pretty light colored, right? It was a bright sunny day. And I just see on the house, my figure, right? The shadow from the sun casting it, and then a little figure. And I thought it was a bee or a wasp because we have plenty of like paper wasps here. And so I'm like going like this and I see it still in the house. I'm like, what the heck? And so once I realized it wasn't a wasp, then I was like, oh man, it must be something on my glasses. I'm like, wait, no, my glasses are clean. And I was like, is there something in my eye? And so once I discovered like, no, it's still there and it's in my eye, I had a whole panic moment because I'd never heard of floaters, didn't know what they were, was like, what's happening to my eye? And then went to the doctor because online I was panicked because online, like, it could be like having floaters come on. It could be a symptom of having a retinal detachment, which is a huge emergency and very important to get addressed right away or you can go blind. So I quickly booked a appointment to the optometrist. They like did the whole scan thing and we're like, no, you just got a floater. So yeah, I'd never heard of them at all, but man, they are, if you don't know what they are, like now you're prepared. So if you get one, don't freak out. After a while, your brain totally does a good job of meshing it and you forget it's even there, except for, like I said, in certain situations where it's really bright and our walls are white, I'll see it, but usually it just doesn't bug me. But man, when it came on, I was like, this is it for me. I guess this is how I'm going out, you know? I was freaking out, man. The way you were talking, I thought you were referring to a retinal detachment when you said floater. Oh, no. No, it's literally just like a vein. I think they described it to me as like, it's some like as similar to when you age, like you get wrinkles and stuff. You have like gel in your eye. I'm not an eye doctor. I don't really know the way the eye works, but like you have gels in your eye, right? And it's like with time in some people, some of it can kind of like clump together a little bit. And so when it becomes that sort of thicker because it's not so free floating, then I think it's basically like the light bouncing off and creating almost like a obstruction, just like a small obstruction. Yeah. It's hardened gel. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's hardened gel. So basically gel that's sort of, yeah. I see black shapes all the time, big enough to mistake for the cat. It's a common symptom in long coat, apparently freaky. Yeah, it freaked me out. Aaron wants to know if I'm getting hungry. I am, but I think I'll wait to eat till after the stream, hun. Just because it's a bowl. It's like 1:40 right now, so I'll probably call it at like 2:30. Let's get back to it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Everybody, if your eyes are, I mean, go to the doctor if you ever get one, just to make sure that it's not a symptom of something else. But I think 99% of the time it's not. And I was told that if it is a retinal detachment, normally you'd see like not one come on, it'd be dozens and dozens and dozens of them, which I think would make anyone freak out. So, my wife had regional detachment recently and had to get a sclera buckle implanted in her eye. I hope you never have to go through that. I am really sorry to hear that. Is she like fully, I don't know, like is she fully recovered, or I have no idea like what the process is like to recover from something like that. I'm glad they caught it. I'm really sorry that that happened. I just got done with my Z-Drive assembly. I got to catch up to you. Dude, if you don't catch up to me, man, something's wrong, because I am, I'm a lot of things, but a speed builder is certainly not in that list. Okay, so we're done with this. We just did this. We did that. We did that. Sick! We're on XY joints. Awesome. That is fantastic. So let's take a look at these. These turned out, I think, really nicely, all things considered. I'm curious to know how yours, are you using on yours pins, or are you using bolts? If you're using pins, let me know how tight or not tight tolerances are. I'm really curious, because ours were very, very tight. But yeah, these look good. Look like AB motor mounts to me. Quite pleased with the end result. You can't see my stress marks. They're all hidden behind the bearings, but yeah, I think these are gonna work. These are gonna work totally fine for us. So let's get started on the idlers then, since we've got a bit of time here. Also, giveaway link is open for anyone that is joining in late. I think I'm using pins, but I'll DM you. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Hopefully yours goes a little bit smoother. It was definitely a bit of a struggle, but like I said, it all seems like it worked out fine. Where are these pieces? Okay, this looks like one of them. So it's gonna be in our primary color, not our accent color. Could be 4 of them. The issue is that these pieces look kind of similar to other pieces. Oh, actually, these are not, okay, so there's one. So 2 of the pieces have heat inserts, so I put them in a separate bin. So we only need to find 1 more of these guys. So yeah, the 2 beefier ones. God, we're gonna have to do more pins. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I mean, we'll probably be fine. We've already gone through this once. Where is our last piece? There's a lot of pieces to this build. Granted, a lot of these are like skirts and screen mounts and stuff like that, but digging through this, there's definitely a lot of parts there. So here we go, found it. Okay, I think that's all the print. Oh, you know what? We're probably gonna need the little spacer guys, aren't we? I'm sure we will. Okay. We got a Britney Spears reference. Hit me, baby, one more time. Love it. I guess we know. We thought of everything. Now it's over to you. Pins or screws? Okay, so we're doing pins. These are the same. Wait, are we doing pins for this? We can't be doing pins for this. Can we? We don't have enough pins, or I'm counting 1, 2. I don't think we have enough pins. I'm so happy that the pieces are keyed differently. That would have bit me so bad if they weren't. Yes. There's always, yeah, anything that can be done in the design. If we were supposed to use bolts, there's no way. No, there's no way. Don't. But I am confused now. I'm very confused. Let's check something here. I assume that if we were supposed to use bolts or pins, they would be labeled as such or named as such. So where's the motor mounts? Okay. These are pinned. These are 100% pinned, at least according to the name. So we did that right. But if we're looking at these guys, this doesn't say anything about being pinned. Where's the other ones? Upper right, live idlers. Live idlers. I don't know what the significance is of that. This was Heart K gave me this. This was not like I did not. If it were me, I would be importing like just a few STLs at a time. Yeah, Heart K sent me this. I don't know if he's the one that like was behind this, but yeah, this is beautiful. This is very very clean. So yeah, I don't know what in the world. Live idlers have extra bearings in them. Got it. Okay. But I'm confused about the pin stitch. It feels strange to me that we would. It feels strange to me that we would use. Wait, are these only using? No, this is basically showing we need 4 pins, right? Let me read here. M3, wait, 6 pins. Four pins. Okay, 4 pins makes sense. That's what we used. 6 pins doesn't make sense to me when there's only 2 pieces, but regardless, let's check the BOM. Let's make sure that I'm not somehow screwing this up and that there's pin like supposed to be these here. So I'm gonna assume these are not under fasteners. These are probably gonna be under motion. Bearings, shaft. Yeah, so there's a total of 6 M325s. So if we've used 4, which we just did, then we have 2 left, which is not enough. So we are going to use bolts on this. Is it weird to use bolts on one and like not on the other? I find that a little bit strange. I'm gonna definitely make a note of that and probably ping Heart K to see like, is it supposed to be like that? Is something off? I guess I could have just looked at this bag, but yeah, this bag says 6 3x25s, and that's not enough. These parts look like they're intended to use pins though, so maybe we use pins for part of it and bolts for the other. This is definitely a part that can use some clarity. I don't feel like it's obvious. It's not bolts. If you have live idlers, we'll have the pins pressed on the idler. You have live idlers. Okay, does that mean I don't need that then? I don't need 4? Oh, idlers with... Okay, this makes sense now. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There are idlers with pins in them. I saw them earlier. They are going to be... I think I even took them out anticipating we might need them. Here they are. I don't have fancy idlers with pins in them. Well, maybe you won't be confused then. So, are these idlers? Oh, interesting. So these are already pressed. So these are pressed to a certain length already? Okay. Okay. That, I suppose, makes some sense. So we need then... So my parts are going to look different, is basically what we're getting at here. My parts are going to look quite different. And is there any instructions on how to actually assemble these? Because there are bearing slots for these. Are there any instructions? Or is it basically going to be the exact same thing? But okay, so I'm gonna make some assumptions here. I think I'm gonna make some assumptions that we need to install probably a flange bearing into these guys, because that looks like the flange must have to go this way, and this definitely looks like a situation where my boy Nipix is gonna come in clutch and save the day. Let's see. Okay, that felt right. I've mentioned this before, but Steve got me these Nipix pliers for my birthday. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, and this is one of my absolute favorite tools ever. I am so appreciative. It's just, they're so good. I don't know why they're so good. They're smooth. They don't damage your printed part. You can lock them to a set range. Like, they're just, oh, I can't say good enough things about them. Okay, and on this side, I don't see a section for the flange, which makes me wonder if the flange bearing is supposed to go into here, or is it a different bearing that doesn't have a flange? I kind of feel like it's a flange, and that's, yeah, it's gonna be a flange. Is it gonna be a flange though? It has to be, right? I don't think we have bearings that aren't flanged. Same thing? Okay, all right. Okay, we gotta widen this up a little bit. Is that right? Maybe? It looks like that'll do. Okay. Last one. What is the benefit of live idlers? I've never used these before. What is the benefit? I'm sure that it's been tested, and so someone knows here what the gain is of them versus having the shaft and some. This wall printed really weird on this guy. Don't love that. Okay, that looks fine. Less friction. Got it. Supposedly bigger, longer life bearings. Okay, benefits is bigger bearings on the idlers, so less chance of failure. Reduce VFA from belt teeth on smooth bearings. Got it. In theory, less slop and better bearings. Better bearings in the ends. Live idlers allow you to use higher belt tension without having stress on the internals of the bearings. Interesting. Cool. Thank you. Like I said, I've never seen or used them before, so really don't know. Okay, so it looks like I assume that these guys are just dropping in here then, probably. Oh, this still needs to get pressed. So So this is dropping in and leaving a large gap there. Am I correct in assuming that this probably needs to get pressed into the printed part here? So I likely need to use my Knipex to sort of press this in place. I'm gonna assume that that's the case. Do I have enough width on my Knipex? We're going all the way. I assume someone say, wait, no? You think the gap is supposed to be there? That can't be right. The pin should touch plastic. Yeah, okay. I don't remember these parts. Hold on. Wait, the pin shouldn't touch plastic? They should just fall into the bearing. Interesting. If I look at, let's go back to our little FreeMF guy. Okay, so I see on this side, definitely there's the pin that's too large, I think, for the pin to slot inside of. Okay, so I see what you're saying. It basically looks like it should just sit. So do we think that that gap is, are these the same? First off, are these the same? These look identical. So the lengths of these pins and the spacing. You should print cylindrical spacers. I think I have them. I assume I have them. Okay, let's do some things here. Also, filament giveaway is happening. So if you want to enter in, now's your time. It's in the CAD. Oh, is it? Wait, what is in the CAD? Does this have both options? Is that, hold on. Gantry assembly. Wait, no, this is not what we're looking at, right? No, it is. This is what we're looking at. 180 gantry. Plastic spacers. Why don't I see them? Is it because X-axis assembly? Sorry, I realize you guys can't see what the heck I'm seeing. Okay. Okay, I see part of our issue is there's, let's see, so XY, this is, there's two XY. I can't read, let's see. X-axis assembly. Okay, so I do see a printed spacer right there, but I don't see one on the other side. Yeah, I see this guy, but is there a reason I only see it on one side? Is one side not needed, or is there an issue with the CAD? This looks, I think it's supposed to go here, right? What is this? Is this part of one of these? Yeah, this doesn't look to be a part of this. So what in the world is this? XY joint, right? Okay, hold on. Live idler, okay. Pinned? Okay, there it is. There she is. Yeah. Okay. Are we still... We're still shimming though, right? Like, I'm still putting a shim on top and bottom of this? I have to be. Okay, let's find... let's find this guy. It was really obvious that they were overlapping with the toolhead, but it was less obvious that they were overlapping with the AB joints. Where in the world is... I have not seen a spacer. It's a really small spacer, so... Let me make sure I printed it. I'm gonna assume I did. Okay, I don't see it there. Don't see it there. I don't... Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's gonna be in orange. Found one. Found two. Got it. Okay. Well, time for me to hit the road. I'll be listening in. Won't be able to chat. Hey, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it. Okay. So let's get this done, at least put together, and then we'll do the giveaway drawing. So I believe I don't know which direction these need to go. So I have to assume that it can't be. Why don't these show? Okay, let's do this. So if I have this piece, which looks like this. Okay, so it looks to me. The thing I'm not sure of right now is on the shims. Like, do I need to use is it literally just going to be this piece against, hold on, oh, is it just going to be this piece like that, or do I need to use any sort of additional shims? That's what I don't know. And then it looks like this other pin goes in right here. We're gonna try nitpicking this. You might need to ream those two. Yeah, I'm gonna try to just get it started and then nitpicks it the rest of the way instead of brute forcing it with. Yeah, that's tight. That's a bummer, man. I feel like this one is less likely to damage anything because there's a lot more, there is a lot more plastic around it. But God, I wish I didn't have to do that. All right, we're gonna try to whack it with the mallet so we get it started. It's gonna work. Do I have enough distance with the Nipix? I don't think I do. Oh, dude, it's like, it's right there. I think what I am going to do is ream it ever so slightly. I use wood clamps at times like these, even pressure and all. I think what I'm going to do is ream it a little bit to get it started. Might help on where the spacers go. Might help on where the spacers go. This might be your print settings. When I did the R1 update to Micron, the pins went in way easier here for me. It's just, it's odd to me. Yeah, it might be print settings, but like a lot of this stuff's going in fine, right? Like the bearings and stuff, it's like a really nice press fit. It's specifically the pins. So I think what I'll do is I will run and grab a reamer and at least get it started with the reamer to see if I can get a little bit of leverage, and then hopefully I can just use this guy to push it the rest of the way in. That's sort of my goal. So when I get back, I will close up the giveaway, which will be in just a minute. I'm gonna just, like I said, run up and grab it. So if you have not entered into the Polymaker filament giveaway, it's pinned at the top of chat, and we are going to close that in just a second. Buddy, you see me on TV yet? Jackson's at his desk. It looks like coloring watching the stream, so I gotta say, hi Jackson! Hey buddy! He saw me right now, I was like, Dad, and he looked at the TV. Okay, let's see if I've got really quickly an M3 reamer. I'm sure I do. It's probably the most common one I use. Yeah, so this is 30. Probably gonna throw it in the... I don't know if I'll throw it in the drill or just do it by hand. I really just want to get the pin started. I'm gonna throw it in the drill actually, just to help a little bit so I'm not just using my thumb or my fingers. Maybe a vise. I have a monster vise that I've never even gotten to use yet. My concern is with a vise, like especially on the vise that I have, I think that the teeth are just pretty aggressive metal, and I wonder if it won't damage the printed part. I'm just gonna go in, watch. I assumed it was for novel printer hardware. Okay, I'm just gonna go in like a tiny bit. Okay, it's just a little bit. Print some smooth jaws. Yeah, that would be a very good use case for a TPU, is some smooth jaws. Holding your hand should be fine. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so that is way looser, which is why I don't want to go all the way with that. I mean, it still holds kind of, but I still don't like it as much. So all right, let's see if I can get this to go in further. Okay, that's as far as that's going. Okay. I don't know how far this needs to go in. That's a little bit of my concern, is I'm gonna hit to a point where it's like, it's not going in further. Print some smooth jaws and embed some magnets on the inside. Okay, did that bottom it out? It's a little nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. Okay, I am going to, in 60 seconds, remove the giveaway link. So if you want to enter it, this is your last call. Okay, that is bottomed out. We are not going any further. Okay, so I've got that. GPs, you said you sent a photo. Let me see what that photo looks like. Streams. Okay. Okay, so the only question I have looking at this looks like a hot printer. This looks like it's very insulated. The only question I have still is in regards to shims. This looks like this printed bearing is up against the flange bearing and that there's no shim between them. No shim between them. But maybe a shim between there, which seems a little odd to me. It's not totally clear to me the stack of shims on this part. Not a shim on the stack. Okay, so you're saying that for this side, which, hold on, it was this side right here, I think. Yeah, so we're saying that on this piece right here, there is no shims at all. It's just straight up pin, little printed spacer, the pulley, and then this goes directly into the plastic, not a single one. The spacer, okay, got it. So on this side it is, but you're saying on this side there is one. So one between this and the bearing? Because of the size of it. On this one, the spacer is sized accordingly, but on this one it's not. So we want something so that way the rotating portion isn't touching plastic. I put a shim on top though. I mean, it looks like looking at this right here, it looks like there's a shim in the, there's totally a shim in the CAD. So there's none there, but there is one on top. Yeah. So there is supposed to be a shim there, according to what I'm seeing here. So with that being said, let's throw a shim there. All right. So there is indeed one going on top here. Cool. And then let's just throw one more shim and two bearings on this side because that has to be how it is. Like that, one U, cool. And then what am I doing? Bearings. We're gonna do the giveaway. Okay, I'm removing the giveaway link. I know I'm lagging on this a bit. Let's go to, did the LDO kit come with a bunch of shims? Or it came with, hold on, I can answer that with a visual in a second here. Let's see, remove. So the only printed shims I'm aware of are two of them, which are basically these little guys for the XY joints. There's no other shims outside of that. I don't know what other shims. Yeah, I don't know which other ones you might be referring to that would be printed versus not printed. The kit came with a bunch of standoffs, which I think are maybe for electronics. I don't actually know. There's a bunch of standoffs. The Micron is a spicy 15, 30 extrusion. Yeah, that's awesome. It looks, I was gonna say, it looks spicy. When I see insulation like that, I'm like, this is a hot boy. Okay, so I think that's fine. Bearing, printed spacer, pulley, shim, bearing, shim. I think this side is done. And then we basically sandwich it, but let's do the giveaway. I am going to do the giveaway. Standoffs are for the bed. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Let us do this. Did we hit 69 likes? It's always our goal. I have not been asking people to like. We're at 68 likes. Okay, somebody get us over the someone get us over the hump here. We've got 108 entries. Nice. Okay. Because it's over 100, I have to really quickly download the file, extract the file, upload it to Drive. Give me one moment here. Okay. Jackson sounds like he is sad boy. Don't know why. Alright, is there 108 of you? Yep, 108, cool. Bada boom. Bada boom. Let's see. Okay. So let's clear out last week's. Let's clear out everybody here, and there should be 108 people. Boom! We did it! All right. Cool. All right, well, for anybody that is new to the stream or new to the giveaway, welcome. Thank you for being here. Polymaker allows us to do a giveaway every Wednesday on our stream, so massive thank you to them for being awesome. And the way it works is it's global. The winner, if you're in US or Canada, you will receive a gift card. I want to say it's a $35 gift card, I believe. Maybe wrong, but I think that's right. And everywhere else in the world gets to pick a spool of website. Oh my God, a spool of filament from the website up to $35 in value. My brain is doing things. So the winner will receive an email from me within 24 hours that has a form as well as a unique code you'll need to fill out said form. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you to Polymaker. If you need filament and you want to support the channel, there is a link in the description. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but a portion of your purchase does go to support the channel, and it is never required, always appreciated. Yeah, and on that, let's do this. So how many, were you the first today? Wait, the first what? Okay, how many, I was the 69th like, nice. Thank you, Beads, for your service. Okay, oh, you're the first entry? I can tell you actually, hold on, let me change, I don't want to show everyone's email, but I can, it's all time-stamped. The first person to enter into today's giveaway was Muzen at 1:30. It has seconds, so you were at 1 minute, or at 1:30 and 55 seconds. The second person was Armor. The last person to get into the giveaway at 2:13 was Jody. So I can see the specifics, which is kind of cool. All right, how many times are we shuffling, y'all? Trying to think of significant numbers. Let's see. We had 6 shims, or not 6 shims. We have 6 of the pins, so we could do 6, or we could do 6. It could do 8 for the 2 additional ones we found. 6 plus 2. Bunch of 3s. Wait, that's the same person. No, 2 people said. We'll do 3. We'll do 3. For some reason, 2 different people said 3, like kind of right at the beginning. That's kind of a random. I think it's a little bit of a random number. So let's do 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Good luck to all of you. In 3, 2, 1. Where's your name? Where? Wait till you see my name. I don't see a kangaroo on the wheel today. Dude, Rod, no way. Dude, Rod, that is, dude, go out and buy a scratcher or something. I'm pretty sure it hasn't even been like, was it 2 weeks ago that you won? That's insane. That is the closest amount of, that is the closest amount of back-to-backs I have ever seen, at least in a really long time. And considering there's 108 people, like the odds are not high. It is awesome. I mean, congratulations, you won absolutely fair and square. I hope you have a project or some filament that you have had your eye on that you want to pick up. That's wild. That's crazy. I need to look back at all of them to see like if there's patterns, because I know there's been a couple of people. I remember there was someone that had like a month and a half apart, and I think one person won 3 times in 1 year, but like that is impressively close to each other. So massive congratulations. I will send you your email this evening, and yeah, thank you everybody for entering in. I do want to see down under his name on here. Let's see. I don't see it. I don't see any like emoji or nothing making it stand out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it on. Wait, can you check the spreadsheet after? Okay, all right, I'll check it after stream. I don't know how appropriate it is or not. I've definitely said and done things on stream before without thinking. And afterwards, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have read that out loud. All right, I think I got 3 times this year. Nice. On this stream, on this channel, or just like across the board from different streams. Yeah, I generally don't keep track. Like once the giveaway's done and I email the winner, I just delete everything. So I'd have to go back. I could just check by email, I suppose, if or I always do like Modbot, Polymaker, stream people. Like the subject is always the same in the emails I send out, so I could do that and filter. Okay, it is appropriate. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna reference the. I'm gonna reference this. So it looks like the piece that's going on here is going to be. Not this piece, but this piece, possibly? Yeah, this seems right. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, I am also going to end up reaming out at least this, let me see. Yeah, so this guy right here, in the corner, I'm at least gonna get it started, so that way it'll be a little bit easier for me to probably enough. I just want to get this all sandwiched. We will end up using our boy Nipix again. Okay, so I don't think my Nipix is wide enough. Oh, it might be. Oh, we might be. Let's see. Oh, we are so close. Okay, I'm just gonna probably press on the table and see if we can get these to go in. Maybe not. That worked. Cool, that worked fine. I do need to print some soft jaws though. It would be nice to throw this type of stuff on a vise. But yeah, I originally got it to work with some metal, and I just don't want to use the metal jaws on the printed parts. It's part of why I like the Nipix, because there's no teeth or anything like that. It's just smooth. Okay, so that's done. Awesome. Let's do the second one. So I'm just gonna, for this, reference the CAD. It seems easier. So we've got the. Oops. Okay, so if we've got this piece here, and it looks like that cannot be right. I guess it can be right. So this is just gonna float. Okay. So it looks like on this side we need a shim. Let's see. So I should probably be inserting. So this is going to be like this, which means that the pin. We might not need it on this one. Let me see. If I do spacer there, then this guy like this. Okay. That's that. And then we've got the printed piece, which is not going. That's right. That side has a little extra lip. If I push through there, it should pop it right off. Okay. And then I think this is just gonna sit like this. Yeah, that works. Okay. So the only thing we need is there should be another. Where's the other one going? Okay, so it looks like the other one is going in here. So we will need to do the same ordeal. Let's do this. Oh, that's a heat gun. I'm not used to having two power tools next to me while building. Okay. We'll basically get these pieces together, these last ones, and then I gotta call it because I told Erin I would do a hard cutoff of 3 today. She's gonna take, the kiddos to go play. Well, mostly Jackson. Landon's a little bit too young to go play, but. Okay, this needs to go in further. I cannot, I'm just gonna try to whack this one with the mallet real quick. Jack? Jack? Jackson? I'm just banging on the door. It's gotta be Jack. Oh. I think he's in trouble. There we go. Okay. Okay, it still goes in further. I think that might be, these probably should be the same heights. I think we just bottomed it out. Need another bearing stop. A quick clamp would work for this. A quick clamp? What is that? Is that a thing, or you just mean like clamp it? Like you're calling it like, okay, so yeah, one more bearing stack I assume on this side. Kind of mirroring what we did on the other side. So let's go a spacer. Bearing, oops, bearing. Come on, buddy. There we go. Okay. And now this should just align. Actually, let me look at a CAD so I don't assemble this incorrectly. That's okay. Okay, so it looks like we want this facing like that, and then this guy facing like this. That seems right. Okay. See if we can do this with my hands again. Holy cow. Where are we not going in? Is it this guy, the bearing stack? The pin looks like it's going in fine. Okay, I'm just gonna push. I'm just gonna push on the table. You put the shim on the wrong stack? Wait, what? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That I did. That I did. Wait, no I didn't. Yes, I did. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Thank you, GPs. Okay, let's try that again. So, shim between these two. Okay, no shim on that plastic piece. There should be a shim right here. Yeah, now I think we're good. I don't know, I must have been... Yeah. Good catch. I think I got distracted by... Jackson was tapping on the door, and then I called him, and then I heard him start crying because I think he's not supposed to be coming out this way. Good save. Okay, so this is keyed, so we can see the key needs to go like this. So let's see if we can get it this time. That's definitely aligned. Okay. It feels like it's the top of the smooth pin, or the pin that is not wanting to go. I'm gonna push and just see if we can get it to go. Yeah, that worked. At least I think it worked. It mostly worked. It's a little bit of a gap. I'm gonna assume that these will probably be pulled together in a second here with some hardware. But that looks right. Is a shim. Okay. So this looks right. There's a shim on both sides, I think. It's a really thin shim. Yeah, that's fine. This one doesn't have one anymore on the plastic side. It does have one on the other side. I think this is right. Okay. What I'm curious about now, though, is if we go to the instructions. Yeah, all right. So M335s. This is the last thing I want to do right now is get these 2 or 4 bolts in. And I feel like I can end it on a pretty good note. And I think that next week, we are going to be just starting to install these things, right? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. So let's get these bolts in place. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip you over. Okay, and we are going in, it looks like this one and this one. I think, yeah. Yep. Awesome. Thank you for catching that, GPs. That would have led to problems. Worth checking, you can slide the extrusion through the mounting area. Oh, got it. On this side? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that seems fine. I guess I probably don't want to over tighten these then yet. Or maybe if I tighten them all on here, it'll prevent issues. Yeah, it's pretty tight. It still slides on fine though. I'm not going to tighten it more than that though, because I'll probably just end up having to untighten it when I put it on the extrusion if I do too much right now. So this one is these 2. I guess it's the ones that aren't on the extrusion. Wow, this one does not want to go in. There we go. That's what I did. Mine clamped on the extrusion if I over tightened. Yeah. I've done it before on, I don't know if it was a Trident or a 2.4. Let's see. Yeah, that seems tight enough and I can still slide it mostly on and off. Yeah, there we go. I can still slide it on and off. Cool. Nice. All right, let's take a quick recap. Quick little recap of what we've got done. So we've got all of our Z drives ready to be mounted onto the bottom of the frame. Boom, boom, boom. Looking good. Let's focus. There we go. Then we've got our AB motor mounts done. Looking good as well. Like I said, I think everything will be totally fine with these, regardless of the pin issue. Seems fine. And then we also got the AB joints done today. So I think that the next week will be mounting stuff and probably assembling. Let's just take a quick look. I gotta call it in a moment here, but okay. So yeah, feet are going on. Okay, so we'll be belting. Oh, is that the end of the instructions? It is the end of the instructions. Ooh, okay. So from here on, we will be on our own. So we will be belting the Z, and then we will, I assume we won't belt this until the gantry is in place. Then we'll probably work on installing the extrusions and rails, and then the X carriage and belting this. You're almost done with the tutorial. Good luck. Hey, Liz! Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I might have to reference the 2.4 manual. It's been a minute, because I assume it's going to be quite similar as far as how we're following things. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I know that we're going to need to get the gantry on, and then we're going to need to belt it, and then we're going to need to work on the tool head. And then I think it's mostly electronics after that. So, hey zombie! You came just in time for me to say farewell. I had a hard cutoff today. So, Aaron's gonna take the kids out. My dad's coming over and do some yard work, but made some good progress. Some really, really good progress. And I think that next week will be a little bit more squirrely, especially because there's just not an A to Z manual for the rest of it. So I have a feeling it'll be a little bit slower progress, but hopefully not too bad. We've been kind of kicking some butt, in my opinion, on this so far. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out and watching me whack pins and heat things up and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Thank you to our gifted memberships earlier and all of our new members as well as our returning members. Congratulations again to Rob for winning the Polymaker giveaway twice in, I think, like 2 weeks. Like, it was a 1 week gap and then winning again. It's incredible. I will send you that email later on tonight. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful week. There won't be a video out this Saturday. The Snapmaker U1 video that was like half an hour long just was brutal. And so I'm working on 2 other videos right now, but things are not going fantastically, which is fine. But it'll take until the next Saturday to have a video out. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I will catch you guys at the same time, at the same place, and we will carry on where we left off. And until I see you guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers. Bye, everybody.